World of Warcraft Classic is preparing for Wrath of the Lich King Classic, and have released their newest developer update on their design pillars and reasonings behind what they are calling some changes. And before we dive into this and start dissecting it, let me just say that so far from what they are talking about, this is how you go about keeping World of Warcraft feeling classic. I have no idea how they could continue doing expansions past Wrath Classic using these pillars, and I don't think they really should, but that's for another topic. Hit that like and subscribe. Let's go. First up, Blizzard's Classic team starts off with talking about how they feel there are some changes that improve gameplay experiences and retain that classic feel. With Wrath Classic on its way, they feel that the old no changes mantra isn't going to cut it anymore, and so to evolve the classic servers in a way that doesn't take away from what people love about classic servers, these are the pillars they are saying they will stand by. Nurture and protect social experiences, keep it approachable and familiar, and the world is the main character. These sound absolutely brilliant. Now let's break down each one and what it means for World of Warcraft Wrath Classic from the information that they give us. First up, nurture and protect social experiences. They talk about the compelling social experiences. This is what many people fondly remember from World of Warcraft in its early days, and how that is why so many people fell in love with the game. It's all about the players forming friendships and bonds in the MMORPG that goes out to parties, guilds, raids, and across the server. This was damaged during the original release of Wrath of the Lich King because they introduced the Dungeon Finder tool during the life of this expansion, and that allowed cross-server parties. It didn't take long and nobody cared about their reputation. These were people from all over and they would likely never see them again. On the classic servers today, you have to find a group, and although you might find some very toxic people, to be honest, overall, the community has been much better. Certainly better behaved than retail. There are many factors to this, and one being that which I already mentioned, your reputation on that server matters. The other they speak on is social proximity, which means you run into the same faces and names enough and you will remember them. Have positive interactions with a couple of them a couple of times and you'll feel comfortable with them. The Dungeon Finder tool, as it once existed, is no longer going to be a part of Wrath Classic. There will be a looking for group tool where you can list your role and what you want to do, or search for people doing the same content you want to do, but it will not automatically slap you in a group, and it will not be cross-server. This is very smart and will definitely go a long way, in my opinion, of keeping World of Warcraft Wrath Classic feeling fresh and still classic, and I applaud Blizzard for that. Second, let's talk about approachable and familiar. They are talking about that feeling of coming home to a place you know. Now, when talking about changes, this may come off as a bit bizarre, but they go on to explain that Classic's combat pacing is more deliberate, class designs are more familiar, and there are less changes to this with each new patch. Also, it's the stories that are about that place and time, exploration being more of a gameplay element and more about the player interacting with the world itself. More on that in a minute. Dungeons and raids have more preparation behind them, or learning and mastering your class, or the encounter mechanics. These are the things they want to keep in place for Wrath Classic in World of Warcraft. They say they understand that the familiarity can easily be damaged, and then gave another example. The emblem system in the original Wrath of the Lich King, they find in retrospect, was too complex and confusing, and they will change this so that now the emblems will be relevant to the tier you got them from and used to get gear equivalent to that raid. These are the kind of changes they're hoping will make Wrath Classic more approachable. Now, World of Warcraft veterans, here is where I will need your input. Discuss in the comments below how you feel about the changes to the emblem system, as I wasn't playing Wrath in those days. How will it affect the gameplay loop, and do you think this is better than the old system? And here's one of my favorites. The world is the main character. This is one I can really dig into because that really is the big difference after Wrath of the Lich King for World of Warcraft, in my opinion, is everybody became this big hero and this big savior, and the world lost a lot of its credibility, in my opinion. They are going to maintain the feeling of being immersed in a living world to encourage more of the player-driven stories and adventure that made so many fall in love with World of Warcraft in the first place, or actually even the MMORPG genre for a lot of people. Gathering and crafting professions are mentioned as being a big part of this, and the economy, of course. They say that this pillar means they need to preserve the world they have created from excessive changes that hurt the world being the main character. So those are the pillars that Classic is hoping to continue with the future World of Warcraft Classic, which really seems to me to be pointing at that there will in fact maybe not be a Cataclysm Classic, as you might assume that may happen next, as it quite literally changed the world. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. They went on from here to discuss some Wrath of the Lich King itemization changes, and the main takeaway here is that they want the Wrath of the Lich King or other heroic dungeons to stay attractive, so those drops staying available, and that the itemization and raid lock systems, the emblems will drop and work in the same way every tier. Set pieces should be acquired the same way every tier, and raid locks stay the same every tier. They go on to say that both 10 and 25 player raids will drop emblems of valor at launch, while dungeons will drop emblems of heroism. Now, before we go any further, let's hear from the sponsors of this channel, and then we'll be back for more. Real quick before we continue on with the video, I want to give a thank you to the members of Napalm. This channel is completely community sponsored, and these are the brave heroes who have stepped forth to strap on their gear and sharpen their blades, and are casting the spells of awesome by becoming members of the channel. With exclusive perks, sneak peeks, and more, thank you for your support. And I think you are interested in supporting the channel. Click join down below for a list of options and add your name to the list of knights and mages on the Council of Napalm. And I want to give a very special thank you to the Lords of Napalm, Bounty Code, Jared Woodhouse, Daimlos, Farthest Reach, Not Sid, Sparrow, Carsonik, and Christopher Hensel. Thank you for your highest tier membership. Now on to the video. Now take it to the comments and let me know what you think about these some changes for Wrath Classic, and if you see it as a positive or negative, and why. And also, I have a guild for people coming back to World of Warcraft Classic, for Wrath of the Lich King Classic, or that have never played before. We stream our group content every Thursday right here on the channel at 7:30 p.m. Central, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. It's also available on Sparrow's Twitch channel and Renfel's YouTube channel. So come check it out and hit that like button to help me battle the YouTube algorithm. And if you are new here, please consider subscribing to support the channel. And until next time, my friends, God bless and happy gaming.
My son, the day you were born, the very forests of Lordaeron whispered the name Arthas.